All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. We're actually on time today. I know, crazy. This is a video podcast where we've been going over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by Adi.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you're doing all right. I'm happy to have you back, I guess. We also got Nick again. Hey, Nick.
What's up, guys? I'm back.
We can't get rid of this guy. And finally, something interesting. Rapha, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you joining us. Congrats to both you guys on your finishes. Spoilers. I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's people who are watching Tub Takes that didn't pay attention to the results. Who knows? This is how they find out. Anyways, jokes aside, we're gonna be going over, just like tournaments that took place over the weekend, different metagame stuff, talking about VGC, of course, and keep you informed. I think there's one tournament sign up to let you guys know about. We'll be covering that at the beginning. Talking about Sao Paulo, Portland, the Global Challenge, maybe doing a bit more of that Calc is Always Right game show. And lastly, this is going to be on YouTube. So maybe somebody else grabbed the command. Yeah, I got it.
I got you.
He's got it. Yeah, this is going to be on YouTube. So if you are here now, but you can't stay for the whole stream, you can check it out later. And yeah, then we'll mention that again at the end. And lastly, your questions, of course. So feel free to leave questions in the chat, and we'll keep an eye on that and respond if you say something interesting. So say something interesting. With that, though, let's go ahead and get this picture off the screen. So first off, Turin, the special event in Italy, is coming up, and the signups are going live for it. If it's on YouTube, they've already gone live, right? 'Cause I think this is tomorrow. I think you were the one that linked it, Adi.
Yes, and honestly, if you're watching this on YouTube and forgot to sign up,
too late.
It might be too late. It's probably too late.
Special events are
free entry, and so
free entry, right? Yes. Okay.
But that being said, actually, it's not true. Now that you scroll through it, it looks like they have staggered it a little bit, so you might be able to get it in the second or third wave.
Oh, there's multiple waves. It's also pretty sizable. I mean, like 784. We've seen events hit that over here in the U.S. And they were paid. This is free, so I don't see how this is not going to just blow up. Good luck getting into everybody that's trying to get into this one. Yeah. And other than that, I don't really have anything else to add here. So, are we already moving on to talking about Sao Paulo? Is that the first item on the list? It is, sure enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you want to talk about locals. Forgot to add that to the thing, but locals did come back. This was the first weekend with them.
Oh wait, you're right. Okay, yeah, locals are here. Locals are live. If anybody's here attended one, I know that Portland was happening last weekend, so a lot of the sweaty players are gonna have been there. But like, if you were at home at a local, let us know. I want to know how it was, because I have not been to a Premier Challenge in years, and it's just I loved the vibe of those. So,
Moxie Boosted won the tournament in Portland this weekend.
Oh, the Premier Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tournament in Portland.
The tournament in Portland. You're right. All right. Congrats to Moxie Boosted. Wait, when is the quadruple Ohio one? I forgot. That's
it's next weekend,
like
right between
the
Portland
weekend?
and yeah.
Okay. So we do have another major this upcoming weekend. Why didn't we do the Quad Ohio preview? Who's your smart money? Who's the smart?
I mean, that's just that's later on in the episode.
You need
Are
four
people flying in for
different
that?
smart
Is
monies.
that something people would do?
Joe said he was going to be going there.
I don't know.
Joe's
I think Joe's driving though, right? That's got to be a drive.
Probably driving.
Sierra's
Yeah, it's probably
driving.
drivable. It's like 8 hours
She was driving
from New York.
Okay.
And was
God.
she emphasized this.
Wait.
But
Toronto's like 4 hours away. So like it is actually, Ohio is pretty reasonable from a lot of different places. I've done the drive from both Indiana and from Toronto to go to their doubleheaders, so it's not that unreasonable.
It's Toledo, so it's like
8
almost
hours would be considered reasonable for driving to a local?
I mean, I did 4 hours. New York is like a stretch, but I mean, it's four Premier Challenges, and New York Premier Challenges are notoriously difficult, so it does kind of make sense to outsource your points in that respect.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
I think TOs get one for the month of May, and then they also get another one for June.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Okay, but still overall just a cap of 2. So if you only have one TO in your area, you'll still be able to get 2 finishes, assuming you can place at both of them. If you're in Ohio, you're gonna have 8 chances, perhaps, maybe more.
Guess how many premier challenges I have within 250 miles of me?
Within 250 miles of Austin?
Yeah.
You've probably got 2.
I'm going with
I've got
0.
0.
Zero.
I've got 0.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. And meanwhile, Ohio gets 8. So tough. I mean, obviously, again, if you got your Worlds invite, you're not stressing about it too much. But this is sort of the messed up part about the day 2 race every year is that there's a huge disparity, especially with the BFL of 6. Stipend races are messed up because of it. Not to the advantage of Nails and Alex a lot of the time, I guess. And then, but yeah, no. If you are not in the Midwest, you get kind of screwed over a little bit.
Does anybody have?
We just have all the best players. I don't know what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up the
Yep.
the CP
That's it.
tracker, because that is like a minor thing I want to slip in here, is just talking about the day 2 race. Like, I don't care to like follow it along with it the whole season long, but I just wanted to show where it is now, because here, okay, I got it.
Yeah, it looks like Terran and Jawani have updated the sheet.
Yeah, it's updated.
The
Sweet.
crazy thing about this to me is, and this was just stealing something Jody pointed out, that somebody who has a Worlds invite, like, but no more, just at 300 CP, would barely sneak into top 8 currently, and that's going to change with, like, how many more regionals do we have, and a whole internats? Like, I'm sorry, they would barely sneak in if they won NAIC, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And so, yeah, 300 plus 500 lands you at about 800. That's still below Chuppa. So, like, the people who have, managed to make it to Worlds already are, like, and just that, they're not even in the conversation. It's kind of nuts. And the only thing I'll say about this, the only thing I'm going to say about this is, and I'm not trying to, like, make it a whole region war or anything, is that NA just needs more slots. Like, this is just nuts. Like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
NA needs more day 2 Worlds invites. It would be nice to get 12, 16, I don't know. A number bigger than this, because, like, I mean, if we go down to 16, we've got Carson at 470. That's a bit more of an achievable number right now, whereas, like, I mean, Collins, the bottom, top 8, 720. Yeesh. Okay. But
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if the bar is 470, or if it's currently 470, that I'm going to at least 2 more regionals, trying to fill out my BFL, put myself in a shot where if I do well internats, I can get it. If the bar is 800, obviously, like, I'm just not in contention at all, and I'm at 330.
Yeah, I was trying to find you. There you are.
Like, Pokemon, take my money. I want to go to events. I have no reason to.
Yeah.
Please, either give us more prize money so I have a reason to go to events. So I'm not going to get top 8 consistently, but I will get top 32 consistently. If that pays for my trip, I'll go, because it's fun. And or let me fight for day 2. And not just me. Like, Alex, you're in the same boat. Justin's in the same boat. Jody's in the same boat. I mean, I'm looking at these names like Aaron Traylor, Nate Ortiz, Giovanni Costa. Like, so many good players just aren't going to events because they don't have a reason to.
Yeah.
I've got 2 fun facts about the day 2 race.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is that the highest point total in Europe is 700 right now. So no Europeans would currently qualify for day 2 in America. But you might say that's just because America has more regionals. And we do have more events. But even if you take out all of everybody's regional points, and like global challenge points, if you just count the internationals points that Americans have gotten, which does not count NAIC, then there are still 8 Americans who are above the day 2 bar for Europe right now. Just only on internationals points.
All right. I mean, it sounds like NA needs to travel more, huh? It sounds like Turin better watch out. There should be some NA players showing up. All right, but oh yeah, we talked about Turin, so let's move on to talking about Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo, actually the home of internets in the past, but this one actually, wait, was it the host of the internets this year? Not the one we didn't get to have, but
yeah, Cards had internets in Sao Paulo.
Okay. So double dipping in Sao Paulo. It looks like it was around 275 Masters players. And I don't think we have teams here. Yeah, so I'll give the page a quick refresh just in case. But yeah, the teams are still coming. Maybe we'll talk about them in the next week. But for the meantime, though, I did check out the stream, and they have preview here for Game 3, funnily enough, that shows the 6 Pokemon from each team, which was between Paul Ruiz and Joaquin Salerno, who... Paul was just running the same team that Paul has been running, this Mouse Ape team with Arcanine Goldango, Mega Salamence, and Iron Bundle. And then we have Mystic Box was running the Worm. We had Tinglu, Orthworm, Dragonite, Fluttermane, Gyarados, and Chenpao. I think I've seen a couple similar compositions using the Worm. I don't know who specifically. They might not have the same sets anyway. We don't have all of the team information, so and spoilers, I mean, based on the thumbnail, Worm did win, so Joaquin ended up taking it with the Orthworm archetype, and I gotta say, I'm kind of hyped. I think this archetype is just so funny. The fact that like this Worm with this wacky move, this wacky ability, can be viable at the highest level, so cool.
It's not very PG though.
Wait, what'd you say, Rapha?
It's not very PG. For being
That
honest.
image, yeah, I mean, you gotta get the clicks somehow, man. Yeah, no, Body Press has some very whack animations with the shape of this Pokemon.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, Shedtail lines up really nicely with a bunch of the good Pokemon right now. Like, it's got funny multi-scale interactions. It gives you a Spore immunity, just pretty good.
I remember thinking about how it was kind of lame that in the Dynamax era, Sub kind of ceased to be a move because you lost your Sub upon Dynamaxing, and Zacian was like the only Pokemon that ran it. And it's cool to have Sub back in the mix.
Yeah, Sub's just a good move. And it's like important counterplay to Amoonguss. And so sleep moves were really good last gen because nothing could run Sub. So like lots of Dynamax was really stupid for a lot of reasons. And so yeah.
Let's not do this. Let's not go back there. Let's not go back there. Don't make us go back there. But I don't think this is final results either. I think this is just top 8. I don't know if it's listed anywhere. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back for this one to give you guys more information on it later. Talk about all the teams and stuff. Hopefully next week they'll have more for us to talk about. And so we're gonna go ahead and move on towards Portland. Okay, so Portland. Let's see. How many players? I forgot how many players with this one. Okay, 469-ish. So, that's not the smallest. That's bigger than Vancouver, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it came out to around the same size as San Diego, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy. Like,
yeah.
A tournament in May versus a tournament in January immediately after the game comes out, and Portland's I guess about as hard to get to as San Diego for most of the country.
I think it's maybe a little harder, but San Diego also like capped. It would have doubled that number very easily.
Yeah,
doubled.
Like...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't think it would hit 900?
I thought it was gonna be like 7 or 8, but in retrospect, it might have hit like it might have
like,
honestly.
Orlando also capped, and Orlando would have hit higher than it was.
Didn't it only barely cap at the end?
Yeah, it did. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess
like 30 or 40. I don't know. Like, it was pretty much.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I could see San Diego would have hit 800. First regional of the year, first regional of the West Coast.
Yeah, okay, I'll give that.
Pretty easy to get to. In that you have to fly to LA to get there. Or San Diego is like large enough airport. A lot of LatAm players I think would have gone, as well. So yeah, I think it would have been the biggest regional of the year.
So talking about the teams from this tournament, though, we saw Joe win this one. Joe won the well, I don't remember which tournament it was. Was it Victory Road? Was it Rose Tower?
Victory Road.
Okay. Joe won the Victory Road online tournament the weekend prior with, I believe, the same team or something close to it. Funnily enough, I didn't hear people talking about the Fissure Torkoal this weekend, but I did hear people talking about it when Joe won the online tournament last weekend. Maybe Joe wasn't hitting as many Fissures or something, but regardless, I think this Torkoal set is awesome. Eject pack, overheat, like with the it just like supports the photosynthesis mons so well in like making sure you're using the sun turns to the best of their ability and making sure you just like you get a lot of value out of that. And then helping hand in case you're going to get ejected out from say like a snarl or something else before you get to move. So I think that's really, really cool. I can't remember. All right, this is stupid. I should know the answer to this, but helping hand does not go before switching, right? It's like plus.
It does not.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Did it ever?
No.
It goes before
No.
protect though.
The only move that goes before switching is pursuit, and that one got yeeted.
Yeah. I'm getting myself all kinds of mixed up. I'm washed. Anyway. We have a lot of cool synergy here. Terra Blast, Terra Flying on the King Gambit to also take advantage of the sun. The Jumpluff has Chlorophyll, the OG ability that was activated by Sun, making its appearance here. And yeah, I believe we said this last time, but Santino was the one who originally came up with this kind of Sun team, these 6, I believe, and yeah, I do want to say that I guess I was wrong and it was a little bit inspired by Nick's team. Whatever, man.
Yeah, it only took 3 of the same mons, but it did have some
Santino
stuff.
came out and said it after listening to last week's Tub Takes, so I guess I owe Nick an apology for that one. Funnily enough.
Let's go.
I just saw Draco Jackson called the Jump Left dub last week. I believe Adi also did. Technically,
I sure did.
Not
That was my
necessarily
smart
Jump
money.
Left, but you said Joe was going to win.
I was even more specific. We all know Joe was running it back with the same team. I'm the one who called the player.
Yep.
Not that I expected anyone else to do especially well with Jump Bluff. I don't think anyone else was really. There was one other Jump Bluff in day 2, but I don't think that anyone else was expected to win a Jump Bluff.
So I want you guys to know that we've been doing the smart money thing pretty regularly with the podcast, and only until now, when Adi finally gets one right, does he say, we should start keeping track of a scoreboard of how well we do. This guy, man.
Yeah, we
Listen,
start keeping track of how well people do at tournaments, right, Rapha?
It's not just after I got one right. It's after I got a Gotti getting second at UIC and getting one right. I've been on a hot streak with my smart monies,
I do. If we're gonna do this, if we're gonna measure Orthworms, then I'm gonna bring us back to the Sao Paulo, where everyone said Agati was gonna go deep, and I picked Paul Ruiz just to pick somebody different, and Paul did make it to the finals, so ended up getting second, unfortunately. But hey, man, they're both.
And Agati went 5-4.
They're both regionals. They're both regionals. Same level. Okay, so Joe is using that team that we kind of already talked about it, so not a lot more to say about it. Other than it's pretty dope. There's some really cool stuff here, and it's Groudon, Xerneas, Fluttermane, Great Tusk. They've been on a number of teams throughout the season. Actually, you see there's 3 other Great Tusks in the top 4, or just top 4 and finals. So
more than Palafin.
Yeah. Wait, where is this Palafin Pokemon? Rapha was trying to represent it, as you can see down here in 7th. We'll get to your team shortly. But yeah, the runner-ups team was I guess I wanted to call it the Lex Ardozo team, but it's not. No, it's is it just Fluttermane over Dragonite?
Yep.
Okay, so
yeah,
I guess what we're seeing is Glamora is a Pokemon that for a little while now has been proven to be good with Dondozo teams. It's also pretty good with Chi-Yu, as it's a special attacker. And then Chi-Yu Bundle, I think, is the main duo to look at. Again, we'll get to talking about Rapha's team later. But yeah, Chi-Yu Bundle are, I feel like everybody, when we first got Ruins, was like, oh yeah, Chi-Yu and Fluttermane, they cover each other so well. Fluttermane is the most common, strongest special attacker. Slap them together, and we still are. We're definitely still doing that. It's just that...
Yep.
Fire water coverage, especially freeze dry, paired with this, speed control, spread moves, and just the ability to up bundles damage just that bit further can be truly devastating.
Yeah, Chi bundle was the big winner from this weekend for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just really devastating combo. It's a lot of damage. There's a lot of speed control. It's just it's a lot to react to, like Icy Wind Overheat, double taps, flutter, and a lot of other things. It's a deadly combo, and you have to have a response for it. And like moving forward, it's like balance was number one on everybody's radar heading in, and it's hard to say that Geo Bundle isn't going to be number one on everyone's radar moving on from Portland. Just had a great tournament.
This
Yeah,
is Nails
bundle
trying to get
itself has
people
a
to not
sorry.
run balance.
What'd you say,
Go
Rapha?
ahead.
Yeah, bundle itself just has a strong matchup against balance, and like that little bit of extra damage that it gets from Chi Yu, you can one hit KO stuff like Palafin and Amoonguss with Terra Ice with
Yeah.
Terra Ice as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
It's
yeah,
got it's got a good matchup into Palance. It's also got a good matchup into Dozo, which is probably the number 2 threat that people
Yeah.
were thinking about going into this weekend, where you can just like power through Dozos really easily. So it really did seem very well positioned to the metagame. No surprise that it did as well as it did.
And that was the only Dozo I'm seeing in the top 8. I don't know if anybody. Yeah, it looks like Kalayan Brown ended up
Kayla.
bubbling out. Oh no, not bubbling out. That's the top 10 for. Okay, so only one Dozo made it to the potential top cut, and that was the one that made it all the way to second. So congrats to Zisho Ding. And then I gotta ask. I think I saw maybe Cypher was talking a bit about. Is it Ofamezi? I don't know.
it's Mezzy.
Ofamezi?
Just Mezzy. It's like his tag, and he goes by it. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's also Mezzy.
Sure. So Mezzy's a player that I haven't heard of before, but I think Cypher was saying they started in 2020, and they're like from like the New York area, I believe, and they ended up making a pretty deep run with not Sun, but you know the next best Sun setter, Murkrow, Sunny Day, so it is still Sun, and notably has a Gyarados, a Amoonguss, and Goldengo, I guess, like Pokemon that are like a little bit less common on this type of archetype. You usually see like Pokemon like Bundle, Chi Yu. I was gonna say Flutter. Flutter is still here. It's just Double Ghost. And yeah, this team is still kind of doing similar things to some of the other Sun teams. Like I think Joe was Scarf. Wow, and Nick, you were also Scarf. Are all these Tusks just Scarf? Huh.
Yep.
That's the one.
Scarf Tusk.
That's the one to do right now. And I guess it's a bit in part because of Booster Bundle. Booster Bundle does say like, you know, Tailwind Tusk is cool, but that's not enough. And so, you know, I know Nick didn't have Tailwind, but still, it still hits a very good speed tier for a Pokemon that is doing so much damage with 120 base power stab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no fire type on Afamez's team is the only thing I can notice that's really weird about it. Otherwise, it looks like Murkrow offense.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, Joe doesn't have a fire type on his Sun team besides Torkoal itself. There's the fake fire type in King Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Murkrow has a really cool like anti-meta slot in that obviously it has haste for Dozo, has Sunny Day for like the hail teams that were popping up for some of the rain teams or sandstorm teams that were popping up. We see one of each of those in top cut, and so it does do a lot into a lot of the metagame, along with Tailwind, which is of course very good. So
that's really important too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, even though Mezzy's team was not the did not take advantage of like the interactions with Goldengo nearly as much. It's like a bulkier, less powerful Goldengo that needs to click Nasty Plot to really do damage. It does still have a really interesting spot in the metagame, and really enables a lot of the Pokemon, just a lot of the offensive Pokemon in general. Even though he was not playing them in an especially offensive way.
Yeah, it's still very strange to not see Chi on this team though. I just think that moving forward, that's probably going to be a pretty straightforward inclusion on this type of archetype. I was testing like similar stuff before Portland and Chiyu was like one of the main focal points of the team. But I mean, you got top 4 with it, so can't hate on it too much. And like I got cooked by it, so yeah, it was clearly worked for him.
Oh my, Adi, you are a bunch of rainbow bars now. Do you guys see this?
This is Tub Nation supports Pride.
There we go, Adi. I'm loving to see these colors on you. So next we have Nick's team. Nick, you ended up making a deep run with Hale.
I sure did.
You also,
Yeah, my team was fake.
Yeah, you said the word I kept seeing being used this weekend was fraudulent.
Yes. I scammed the tournament. I said, "Hey guys, want to pretend that my team was top 4, or that I got top 4 with this?" And they were like, "Sure, I guess. Yeah, go for it." And so I have a medal, and like it's right here. But I don't know why they let me get this thing. They just kind of let me have it. So I got a Pikachu medal, but I don't know why they let me get it with this team. It was not great.
Dang. Well, I guess I will not be watching the report on Adi's channel later.
I contributed to Nick's run quite a bit.
We do thank Rapha for his contributions to the process.
Oh no. Yeah, so
I beat Rapha 3 times.
That is so messed up. Rapha played Nick 3 times. I actually don't know the score. Was it 3-0?
It was 3-0.
Yeah, it was 3-0, 6-1 in games.
Okay, you got one. You got one.
I think like it was. I think the matchup is like kind of close, and I just like got a bunch of reads right every time. Like the games felt pretty close, so I don't know. He also he missed 2 hydros and I hit like 7 over the course of the sets. And like without missing any, and just like that was the microcosm for the tournament. It's just everything went my way. It's like
It did for me as well. The only hydro pumps I missed were against you, and I think I hit all the other ones I went for. So, and those decided to hit for us this weekend.
Yeah.
Iron fumble. I think that's a great way to refer to it, Lexar.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick was running Hail, Snow. A couple other players were trying to do the same thing on different team building groups, and yeah, it's something that I was actually going to stream in the GC with, but I decided I just didn't feel like playing. There's just the basic fun idea is Specs Bundle, Terra Ice, Click Blizzard, Helping Hand. Oops, everything dies. Arcanine, you take like over half, or like close to it, and if you click Flare Blitz, you've only, sealed the deal. It has a good shot to just kill max HP Flutter Mane. It's incredible.
Yeah. Arcanine, so after you Terra Ice, the Arcanine takes like 65 from the Helping Hand, Terra Ice, Specs Blizzard, Flare Blitz, like from 4 attack Arcanine, Flare Blitz plus E-Speed does 97 max, so they just get 2-shot and they don't 2-shot you. And it's really funny.
It's awesome.
The Arcanine just loses to the Ice type spamming Blizzard.
And it's something that I've said a number of times with respect to Focus Sash Abomasnow is that it actually feels pretty nice into Arcanines for specifically the reason that it feels like the Mon just has Aftermath, the ability that does 33%, like, or 25%, 33%,
25,
I don't know, recoil damage upon knockout. And it's like, Abomasnow's just like, yeah, I'm right here, man. Like, take me out. I've done my job. I've set up the snow.
Let me click Veils?
I might click Veil. I might click Helping Hand. But
I have Veil. I'm gonna click Veil.
And if you want to stop me, just take all this recoil and put yourself into the second Blizzard's range. Like, it's just awesome.
Yeah, okay. So the funniest thing a game that I had was my first game against Ashton. He leads his AV backs, and his flamethrower Chiyu into my Obama bundle. I click Terra Ice, Helping Hand, Specs Blizzard. He Ice Shard flamethrowers my Abomasnow to block Aurora Veil, because he thinks like my bundle's scared out. And so I deal 90 to the backs, 60 to the Chiyu, and the game is over because they're both in Blizzard range. And we go game 2.
Yeah, we go game 2. Yeah, Blizzard's just the funniest move. But yeah, we might I don't know. Are you planning on doing a report with Adi or no? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm planning. I'm doing a
Yeah,
report.
All right,
It'll
then you
be
guys can talk
out,
about
like,
that more than
Friday?
I'm already bored of it. Because I also know all I know everything about this team, so I'll let you guys hear
This
more
team
about
is
it on
a
the channel.
cat meme, and it was really fun to play. It
I do
was
think
it
one of
was
the things that we talked about leading up to the tournament before Nell started building this, so I'm going to take credit for it, just like Nell takes credit
Oh.
for Joe's team,
All right,
is
yeah.
that we were talking about ways to beat Palance, and one of them was just overload the Arcanine. Say that, like, hey, you have this very intricate, delicate defensive core, 3-mon defensive core, fire, water, grass core, and you need all those mons to be alive to really stop yourself from getting overwhelmed by offense. And so if you just say, okay, well, I'm just going to keep hitting the slot that needs to be an Arcanine with ice type moves, you don't have another resist for that. And you have Halfin, but like you don't have another resist for that. You need the Arcanine on the field at all times for all my Pokemon, for the Flutter Mane, for the Abomasnow, for the bundle. You can't keep it up. You can't keep it alive that long. And I think that's like a very valid way of approaching defensive, beating defensive course with offense, reminiscent of like Gen 4, like 4 Drag 2 Mag type
Or
stuff,
Drag
where
2
you just like,
Mag.
where you just say, okay, you can't stop my third Dragon type, like that's kind of the same way with Hail Spam. You can't stop my second Ice type. Is the same mentality. You're like my third Pokemon need Arcanine for.
Mm-hmm.
and also reminiscent of that team is I did have some CB outrage on my team.
Shoutouts to Tommy DeRosa, who was I think one of the first people to put us on Specs Blizzard spam.
Yep.
I'm sure that will be covered more in the report maybe. Let's talk about the Screamtail in 5th place. And that was from Navji Joshi.
Cool Screamtail set.
With a Screamtail. It's got the annoying one. I love this one. This one's my fave. Sometimes I want to put Thunder Wave over Protect, but I understand that Protect and Disable have a lot of synergy, and so you kind of want to maybe Protect on both your Pokemon and then disable the move that they need to be clicking into a specific situation. This has also got a solo ape, so no way to proc the Rage Fist, just the ape, kind of doing its own thing. Chi-Yu bundle still here doing Chi-Yu bundle things, and a Specs Flutter. So the main things that stand out to me here are one, we talked about Chi-Yu bundle just popping off this tournament, ape, solo, and a Screamtail being a absolute nuisance.
We've got a team report for this team coming out too.
Ooh, another team report. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then look forward to that. We've also got a Corviknight Sand team from Len in 6th place here. Let's see. This is a just Tailwind Roost Corviknight, AB T-Tar, Life Orb Flutter, Sandvale. Let's go, Sandvale sub. Yeah, leftovers. What the heck, Garchomp? What year is it? I mean, Len has been around. Len has been playing for longer than anybody here. So.
In answer to your question, what year it is, it doesn't matter. Len's doing it, but Len's back on his bullshit.
Yeah, I love it.
And yeah, this is it's Lentar, same thing. I saw someone post somewhere who freeze dries Lentar. That's not gonna work. Probably like after his Terra Rest, and that stuff bounces off. I remember Ed Nats 2018. Like Lentar is just max HP, max bit off, careful, or my Mega Gengar focus blasted it on stream, and it lived, and I was like, oh okay, it's Assault Vest, and then it ate its Super Citrus Berry, and the tar was back. And I got really sad because I wanted that guy gone because I had a Gengar on the field. Like,
yeah, Aaron referenced that on stream when we were talking about Top Cut.
Wait, really? That's so great.
Yeah, he was like, I think he commentated that set. He was like, that was one of the craziest moments I've had with Len.
Yeah.
Yep. Len. I gotta say, I remember seeing. I remember like watching one of Len's games. I think he was playing on one of the TVs at EUIC, and he was using a Rotom Wash, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, Len is the one who would say, like, why are we using these Pokemon from 7 years ago? They're still good, And I mean, you kind of see that here with Garchomp, T-Tar. I mean, everybody else is using Great Tusk, but we got the leftover Sandvale Chomp here. And Len made a very deep run with it. So would have been cool to see that go all the way, especially because we've got a lot of weather representation. Now that we've covered, 6 of the top 8 teams, we've gone through 3 different weathers. Rain, unfortunately, the one missing out here, which is a bit wild. Rain is often the strongest.
Well,
We got one in top 16.
But there is one in top
Gavin
16.
lost his winning in, and would have if he won in round 14, he would have made it in.
Yep. Yeah. So like Rain, at least in top 16, we have all 4 weathers. It is crazy to think. And people have been like debating this. Mainly, I think like in our chats, we were kind of debating like, is this the most viable all 4 weathers have ever been? And I'll start by saying I think some people were mentioning like 2017 saw all the weathers be viable, but I think the key thing that I want to like differentiate between is that this is the most viable it's felt like weather and weather abusers have been, whereas back then hail. First off, I don't even does Slush Rush exist in 2017?
Yeah, no. We had a lull and sand slash, abbreviated of course as ass. That Pokemon was not very good, coincidentally.
That's crazy. How could you say this? So bold. And
Was Beartech not in VGC 17?
I feel like it wasn't in 17.
No one knows.
I don't think it was.
Wait, which one?
Beartech?
It was not.
No.
Okay.
And so 17.
Do you just know that off the top of your head that it wasn't there?
I mean, yeah, 17
reasonably sure. Yeah, like it would have been relevant just like as a Slush Rusher. Like,
yeah,
Ninetales was quite good. So,
I mean, Rapha, you played 17. It was the GOAT year. It's always on the brain. You know, you always think about 17.
yeah, no, I went really deep into 17. Yeah, just that
exactly.
The dex is there until I don't know. It's gonna be there for decades, probably.
But yeah, like that year, like Alolan Ninetales was very good and very common because it was a fast Aurora Veil setter. But it was mostly self-supporting. Sun was good that year. That was actually the year Lilycole debuted. And then there was Tommy using Rain with like Pelipper and Golduck with like Water Z. Sand Gigalith was pretty solid, though I don't know if Gigalith often had a friend. Lycanroc, Wahakov, of course. That was also the year Wahakov probably debuted.
Yeah, it wasn't much in the way of sand abusers, but Lycanroc was occasionally around, but pretty uncommon. Lycanroc was more 2018.
Garchomp was there.
2017.
Oh yeah, Garchomp. That's true. I forgot. Sandvale Garchomp was definitely just like a thing that could have existed in 17 with Gigalith. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I just think that this this current year, it does feel like the 4 weathers are just about as viable as ever, with like the abusers, and then I think that's awesome. I can't say the same for terrain. There are no terrain setters in the top 8 here. But oh wait, no, we're not done here. Actually, I forgot. I almost went over Rapha. I've been making him wait forever. Now we finally get down to Rapha in 7th here with Palance and Chiyu bundle. Rapha, make up your mind. Which one is
it? Heading into Portland, it was the worst prepared I've ever been for a tournament. So I knew I wanted to use something that was stable, which is why Palance was there. But the only thing that I really vibe with was Chiyu bundle itself, and I figured if I just put that on there, it's probably okay. Like Chiyu itself pairs well with Fluttermane and Amoonguss. Bundle complements both of them very well, and I knew having Grass Palafin as well as Iron Bundle and Amoonguss would help me against Palance. So that was a thought process. It wasn't very well thought out. Other than that,
obviously it worked pretty well. This is like, I feel like it's like somewhat similar to what Adi was talking about, like the overload the Arcanine, but like just like you're just like kind of. You took Fire, Water, Grass and said, like, let's do it again. Like, we don't have, another grass type, but you do just have, like, I just think that this is, like, a type of thinking, a type of approach that I would not have considered for Palance. Because when I'm looking at Palance, I'm like, I've got my Fire, Water, Grass. I don't need to do it again. But then you would have said, no, I'm going to pick the 2 more Fire, or, another Fire, another Water that do exactly what I need and are going to put a lot of pressure on to their Fire, Water, Grass, especially if I have, the option to bring 2 waters, the option to bring 2 fires. I don't know if that was something you did often in the games, but I like the idea of being able to vary it or mix it up.
Yeah, having two fire types just gave me a lot more options against Amoonguss, depending on how I wanted to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Undul itself is a water type that beats Amoonguss as well, especially if I could catch them off guard with Terra Ice plus switching into Chiyu. Like, they normally don't expect that to KO.
Yep. I also love that you're talking about all this Amoonguss respect. You've got Chiyu that's killing it, Arcanine that's Safety Goggles Terra Grass and killing it. You've got Grassfin. You've got Psyshock on the
Yeah.
Flutter. You're really making sure to respect Amoonguss here, and honestly, that's just the state of things, huh?
Yeah, I think like the biggest flaw with Palance and from my experience with it was that it just doesn't break Rage Powder fast enough. And so that's what kind of why you have to like really slow play it. Otherwise, if you try to push more damage, you're just gonna end up in a bad position. So I figured if I could do more damage against the Mungus, that's how I would make progress against that team.
That's actually a really smart
Yeah,
approach.
it's
Yeah.
just like the main bottleneck. Yeah, I like that interpretation a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Amoonguss definitely abuses the team's reliance on single target moves. Dazzling Gleam definitely not going to be the move to break Amoonguss. So, yeah, that's a really cool way to do it. And then finally we have Caleb here. Caleb making the return to the top cut with, I believe, Agati's 6. I don't know exactly how the sets look. Let's see. We've got Fissure on the Ting Lu. We've got the
It's
Halark.
it's
Taunfin.
all the same sets except for the Palafin, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Clear Smog on the Amoonguss and Clambax. We've got the Specs Flutter, and we've got the Taunfin. So yeah, definitely showing that Palance can still do it, and that there are definitely ways to flavor it your own way. You know, to make like minor changes and make it your own thing. I like the idea of Taunt, as we talked about, you know, Amoonguss being a Pokemon that needs a lot of respect. Instead of this being Terra Grass, instead forfeiting the Haze slot, you know, or whatever. I guess that was sub on Agati's team to deal with Amoonguss in a different way. Keep your partner safe from Spore, too, instead of sub. I like that. And then, yeah, so in terms of the rest of the teams in Day 2 or Top 16, we could talk about the ones that stand out. I did not realize that Scott was running Armor. Scott, you're crazy for this. What is this armor? Wisp? Heatwave, Psyshock, Trick Room? This guy's crazy.
That guy is crazy. I haven't like truly appreciated this team, but yeah, this
Sub Lefties,
sub
Fissure, Tiglu?
yeah, no, this team is cooking. We've got the Hex Flutter with the Emerald as well.
Yeah, we've got Armor, we've got T-Wave, we've got
And
Spore.
Gyarados.
Yeah. A lot of different ways to inflict status with Hex Flutter. I think that's fun. I think that's allowed on specs, considering that the fourth move very rarely matters. But if you can build it into your strategy, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like so Hex
Yeah.
often just falls short, like because you don't have enough synergy for it. But I think 3 status moves is actually probably the break point where it's just okay. And it's still not going to be something you're gonna like click every game probably. Could be wrong on that honestly, but just like it's worth it often enough, and you don't mind locking into it. So it's just good. So good for Scott.
We see a Scizor in 11th place. The Scizor is actually Swords Dance with Pounce. That's actually one I've been playing around with a bit when I was still taking things a bit more seriously. I think Pounce is an awesome addition to Scizor's move pool. A Technician boosted bug move that can lower speed. Just is really good at supporting the team. As well as just doing a lot of damage to Pokemon like Ting Lu after a Swords Dance. So that's pretty cool. Let's see.
Ashton's team I wanted to touch on.
Oh yeah, okay. So Ashton's running. Oh, it's got a Chi-Yu here. Okay, so another double fire.
Yeah. So it's another double fire team. Like it's got the Black Classes King Gambit. Special attack boosting Flutter. Like a lot of stuff we've seen before. The AV Bax is cool. That's one of the things is it's just there to be like the anti-offense mon, like bulky assault vest damage sink type guy. But this team might be better than its record indicates. Like, and it went 10-4, and he had solid resistance, but like I scammed him in 2 of his games, and Caleb said he hit 3 out of 3 fissures against him for his win. So Rapha, I think, beat him legit, but other than that, he went 10-1 and then got locked 3 times. So, um, like, this is probably a team that's worth paying attention to, even if it didn't quite make top cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do still love this dark, super dark King Gambit. Just do all the damage on Kauto Cleave, and I guess Sucker Punch too. That's just so fun. Shout outs to Luca for making that set, putting that set on the radar. And I believe Ashen and Luca work a lot together. So they're ones to know how to make it work. Let's see. And then Gavin's team in 16th was also pretty cool. It was, as we mentioned earlier, running Rain. Azu also here. Trick Room on the Flutter. And yeah. And then also Howl Arcanine to support some Pokemon that we don't always see getting howled. I think Iron Hands is a great Pokemon to receive a howl, and Azu's got to be a good one too.
Yeah. And Trick Room support for these guys. I mean, it's got like the Palance core of like Flutter, Arc, Shroom, and then Physical Water type, just a different one. But and then it's got Pelipper, Iron Hands as the last 2 on the team, and just yeah, it's a cool take. Like I mentioned earlier, near miss, but a pretty solid team.
Fire, water, grass, double dipping on fire or water seems to be the way to play the game right now, huh?
Yep.
I think it's kind of cool too. Sorry, in top 16 we had 2 teams that had Trick Room, but it wasn't hard Trick Room. Like we haven't really seen just normal Trick Room exist for much of this format. So Scott and Gavin both had that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Trick Room on Flutter, and then I know Scott and maybe Adrian are the ones who I saw most trying to just like use. And I guess Trailer early on were using Armor without Indeedee, just saying that this is a good standalone Pokemon that can do its own thing and not like go too hard on the Psychic types. We can double dip on Fire types, we can double dip on Water types, but maybe we're not supposed to double dip on the Psychic types, at least in the Ruin meta. Maybe not yet. I wonder how well Armor and DD, if anybody did well with that, if anybody made day 2. Looks like no.
I want to give before we move away from top 16, I want to give a shout out to Cedric Bernier.
The bubble
for his Palafin.
Oh yeah, the Aqua Jet Palafin. Thank you.
Cedric, team sheet aired. Jet Punch is the stronger move. It's better than Aqua Jet.
I was wondering how he messed this one up, and now I realize, okay, they both have Jet in the name. Sure.
Water priority move. You just make an oopsie on the team report.
Yeah.
And then he got placed despite went 11-3 despite losing an extra 50% power on his priority move.
Like
just permanently intimidated.
That's what I was gonna say. Is for people who like look at Aqua Jet and Jet Punch, like I'm sure that a lot of the more experienced players are gonna know this, but like going from 40 base power to 60 base power doesn't seem like much. It's a difference of 20 power, but like that what it really is it's 40 plus 20. It is 1.5 times stronger, which means it does.
It's a helping hand.
It is a helping hand. It's an intimidate. It's the opposite. Your Palafin is been howled when it's clicking Jet Punch versus clicking Aqua Jet. Like it's just however you want to look at it. 1.5 is a big number, and we use the moves that give us 1.5. We use the howls. We use the helping hands. We use choice specs. Like 1.5 is big, and so when Aqua Jet is literally 1.5 less than Jet Punch, that's gotta hurt.
1.5 is Choice Band Dragonite versus like in any gen that isn't this one versus Terra Normal Choice Band Dragonite. It's just not even the same world. So
yeah, I forgot Terra into non-stab is also another 1.5. This move this number appears a lot.
Yeah. So Cedric just like nearly making cut with a pretty big nerf to his fin is just really impressive.
Gavin with I think at one of the tournaments he had the no happiness Kang with return.
Yeah,
he like might have still.
I know Tommy did that once. I think Zach did that once. Arash did it notably. He went like 9-0 with base happiness Kangaskhan. That Kangaskhan Pokemon was pretty good, huh?
Ah, right, yeah. Okay,
While we're
so
on the topic of while we're on the topic of team cheaters, I also had a photosynthesis on my iron bundle, and none of my opponents noticed it until round 9. And so I got a game 1 loss for round 10, but then they let me keep the bundle.
nice. Okay, just photosynthesis. Those
I
letters
guess you
aren't
gotta
even.
watch.
They're not close.
It's
Uh,
Iron Sun.
I guess you just gotta read it.
Iron Sundle. I love it. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the top cut calculator before moving on to some of the other things. I know Nick wanted to talk a bit about some of the things that we noticed here. One, I think Flutter and Amoongus, like this isn't really top cut calculators thing, but like usage stats wise, I
Yeah.
think Flutter and Amoongus were a bit down. I should go find that image, and Nick, you can talk about what you want to talk about while I go look for it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's just like so much to dive into. Flutter and Amoongus at EUIC, they were at 80 and 60% respectively, and from this tournament, Flutter was at 65, which is still huge, but I mean, Flutter's good. And it was down. And Amoongus was down from 60 to like 40%. So, Amoongus just wasn't as big. Like it's still the second most common mon in the format, but it actually wasn't the most common mon in day 2. Uh, Bundle and Chiyu both had more usage than it, and none of the top 4 teams had safety goggles on them, which is heresy. It's just something that you're like maybe 1 or 2 players dropping it would have been okay earlier on, but just none of the top 4 had the item. They got a little bit of extra
And
value
Nick, you
from.
are one of the players to commit this sin.
Yeah, no, I mean it was just I mean I had my Abomasnow, which was a spore immunity, and I had Sleep Talk on my bundle, and that was my only spore counterplay, and just it was fine.
your, s- your sport counterplay is just to kill the Amoongus too.
Yeah, I mean I was trying to murder it, like
The best sport
uh
counterplay is death. It always is. It always is. Because otherwise,
uh
Amoongus will find a way.
I mean I also got some clutch rock slides as my spore counterplay. That one worked against Ashton. Uh but like yeah, that's just the Mungus's stocks were down a little bit. And so you get a little bit of value out of like disrespecting it a little bit. Um bundle bundle's the main story. They're just it had like 27% usage in the tournament, and then doubled that for conversion rate into day 2. Like 54% of day 2 teams, I think. It was 22 out of 41, which is yeah, 54% of teams had an iron bundle on them, uh, which is just insane. It was a bundle tournament. Um,
Ting Lu
the meta.
dropped off the face of the earth.
That's
It
true.
was
Yeah,
Go
where
ahead,
would
um.
you
go ahead,
go?
Adi.
Oh wow. Yeah,
No,
no,
I
I
mean,
hadn't noticed that.
Ting Lu just did not convert, which is kind of strange because you'd think that in a format where Chiyu and Bundle popped off, Ting Lu is such an important part of the counterplay, especially for like the balance type teams. You need a Ting Lu, otherwise you're gonna get kind of run over by it. But yeah, no, it's just gone. Also
So
weird because Gyarados is a Pokemon that was overrepresented as well, and you'd think that Ting Lu and Gyarados go hand in hand, but um, yeah, just really weird to see Ting Lu disappear like that. And I guess
So what I want to say
yeah,
is that Pinglu, it was the 5th most used mon in top 128. There were like, and it was just like 30% of the field, which was about its usage in the tournament. Just from 6 and 3 to 7, like all of the Tinglus went 6 and 3, which is very odd. And I think that's just statistical noise, because like Tinglu should be doing fine. Um, and there's probably a little bit of real effect going on, but also all 5 of the teams with Tinglu on them went 10-4 or better in day 2. Like there were 2 that went 10-4 and 3 that went 11-3. Um, so uh, I don't think it's fair to say that Tinglu underperformed despite the awful conversion rate, just because like all of the Tinglu teams popped off in day 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two might be related though. Like maybe all the Chiyu bundles also just avoided all the Tinglu in day 1, which is why there's not as many Tinglus in day 2. And then Chiyu bundle, they all made it into day 2.
Yeah, I mean it's also still really small sample sizes. You can just
Yeah.
Like, uh, because of like pairing luck, we can have vastly different tournaments play out. Um, and just
Yeah.
drawing conclusions. I mean, you can draw some conclusions, but you have to like temper them. Um, but anyways, some other stuff that happened. Chi Yu was the third most used mon instead of Arcanine. Arcanine we'll get to, but he's like pretty far down the list. But Chi Yu just had a bunch of different sets that it was running. There were 5 Terra Blasts, which was surprising. I think those are all Terra Grass Blast. But yeah, okay, they're all Grass Terra Blast. But just Chi-Yu had a great day, or a great weekend. I'm gonna talk about Great Tusk next. Great Tusk, there were like, uh, it's so 11 out of 41 is like 26%, and it had 18% usage in the tournament. So just um, really had a strong conversion rate, like really solid representation based on how many people were using it. You wouldn't expect that many of them to show up, and yeah, 8 of 11 of them had Choice Scarf, and also just 3 in top 4s, eye catching. So
Maybe more
um,
Joe was Terrifier on the Tusk.
yeah, just doesn't get
He
burned.
teared it in one of his top cut tests. I forgot which one.
Gotcha. Did it have?
In
It
finals, I
didn't have
think.
Terra Blast. It just okay. Because I looked at the moves. I mean, like it doesn't need Terra Blast necessarily. It's just like okay, sure. Um, I can respect it.
Yeah.
It's a good type to have for resisting some of the more annoying special attackers like Flutter and Chi-Yu, as well as preventing burn. So yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah. So Gyarados and Arcanine, I'll talk about, I guess, Arcanine first, but Gyarados is the bigger story. But just Arcanine is doing its thing. Uh, it only had 8 out of 41 day 2 teams, and then the top 128 conversion was pretty similarly low. Um, just had a really bad tournament. It People were hunting Arcanines, I suppose, and um, it's not that good where it can stand up to that level of pressure on it. It's just trying to be a dog and support its teammates, and um, teams are probably leaning on it too heavily. Um, and if it breaks, then the team doesn't function anymore, and uh, that's something to keep in mind when team building moving forward. Gyarados, on the other hand, just lined up better into the meta, and that's why there were more Gyarados than Arcanine in day 2, and also I think in top 128. Yeah, just more Gyarados in top 128 as well than Arcanine. Like a bunch of Arcanines busted out, and a bunch of Gyarados did well. And
That is
the
so wild.
Gyarados were almost entirely supportive sets. Like in the top 128 stats, there were 33 Gyarados. 30 of them had Thunder Wave, and 27 had Taunt. They were just taunting and T-waving stuff, and um, it's just got it's got Intimidate, obviously, but it's got great base special defense and HP. It's really fat, and you invest in its defenses, and it gets T-waves off on threatening mons, and there's a lot of Pokemon that just don't really work that well
I
when they
gotta
Thunder Wave.
say, my beef with Gyarados is this right here. This move that they all had. And all the Gyarados had, and that is it brings it back to this thing that we were talking about earlier. 1.5. 1.5 is the difference between Waterfall and Flare Blitz, or Wave Crash if you're talking about water moves. And I've used Gyarados at a tournament this year, and it felt so lackluster because when you actually needed it to do damage, there was none. It switched in great. It used its supporting moves great. But the thing is like, especially the Howl sets from Arcanine, that mon can become the damage dealer itself, even just a plain Flare Blitz set. Also, Arcanine gets the extreme speed, so, you know, if it does hit a Pokemon for 80%, it's able to finish it off. Gyarados was just so consistently doing like 40% to Pokemon with me, or for me. Like, you know, like Waterfall, a Chenpao does less than half. Waterfall, some of these bulky Flutters, less than half. Waterfall, Arcanine after an Intimidate, less than half. You know, like, it just feels so lackluster in the offense department that, like, I understand that it has a lot of other good traits, but I am a Gyarados hater after experiencing in a live setting.
So one thing I'm going to say about Waterfall versus Flare Blitz is Waterfall does 80 base power. Flare Blitz does 120 base power to them and 40 base power to you. So
And I'll take it every day.
It's still 80 net. No, I
Um,
mean, I think on your defensive pivot, especially like we were talking about with Bombasnow earlier, Arcanine doesn't love taking the recoil damage.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's relying on that to be its like fire stab, it just doesn't like it's a double-edged sword, and pun. I'm sticking with the pun for double edge, but because double edge is also like just Fueblood's clone. But yeah, until people are started gonna run the outrage clone that got this gen. What's that called?
Does Arcanine have that?
I don't know if it does. I mean, I
yeah,
know
yeah. Or
It's
Heat
called
Sweet Arcanine has
It's
it at
called
least. I don't know
Raging
if it's normal.
Fury, and
Raging Fury.
I don't think it's accessible until you can breed with. Yeah, like the
Yeah, it's not good anyways. Like
It's
you're
not
not
good.
supposed to do that. But like yeah, there just like isn't another option. And so like the Flare Blitz recoil adds up. And Waterfall doesn't have any recoil. T-Wave Waterfall is also a pretty good combo sometimes.
It is a good combo. I'll give you that.
The one thing I will say is that Gyarados has a lot of competition in the water type slot. We talk about Palafin, it was very good. Talk about Bundle, it was obviously overperformed, and it's really hard to justify putting multiple of those in a team, although I think we saw some examples of it. It wasn't super common. And so that is the one place where it's like, okay,
Dozo, Tots,
you Arcanine kind of go
Azu.
together a little easier. And
Pelipper.
what was that?
I was just saying Dozo, Tots, Tatsu, Pelipper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dozo,
Okay.
Tots, Azu. Sorry. Dozo, Tots, Azu.
Yep. As is another one. The Tat's kind of its own thing.
It is.
Pelipper again, kind of a supportive one where you put it with another water type. But that being said, I think that if you look at the Pokemon that you can't put with Gyarados, I just love the fact that it goes so well with Tinglu and that you get to click Tinglu's best move, which is Earthquake. And Arcanine does not get to do that. And so even though Arcanine also has synergy and that you get to how you share the weaknesses in terms of water weakness, and I don't know, there's pros and cons to both of them. They both get to go with the Mungus really well. If Gyarados got Howl, it'd be a better Pokemon outright, in my opinion. But I really do think that it's very powerful. I like what it does. I think that there's merits to Arcanine as well, and it's kind of like a whoop this for your team, but in a format where people are trying to explore different ways of playing, maybe a little more defensively, then it makes sense that Gyarados kind of picked back up. Also, I'm gonna rant about this right now because I was gonna do it earlier and I didn't get a chance to. Moxie Boosted put a tweet out like a week ago that was like, man, I can't believe that they thought that forcing Palafin to switch out was enough of a drawback. He tweets so much that you're not gonna find it. It's like, but but like, and it got a bunch of engagement. I was like, that's just so wrong. Switching out is actually a huge drawback for Palafin. Like it's a genuinely large drawback because Baby Form is not very like Azu is a better Pokemon than Baby Form Palafin, and it means that you have to put it on a very specific type of team that has a bunch of defensive pivots. Right? It's only really seen on one team that is also has an Arcanine, also has an Amoonguss on it. And so when you put another water type on your team, you have the ability to lead it and have it be a real Pokemon. You can't get tempoed out. And in a format where Chiyu Bundle is the premier threat, you are always at risk of getting tempoed, especially if you lead Palafin, where they're just exerting so much offensive pressure into you. They're threatening to KO your Palafin. They are putting a lot of pressure into the not only they're threatening to KO the Palafin with Freeze Dry, they are also putting a lot of pressure onto every possible switch out because you probably don't have two water types in your team. And so Palafin having to switch out is a huge weakness. This is specifically at you, Marcos. It is a huge weakness for the Pokemon. And it's also a big part of why other water types are seeing play. If not for that, you would just see Palafin because it's so much overwhelmingly good, overwhelmingly better than every other water type when it's in its big form, other than maybe Bundle.
I mean,
I think
if you
also
could
just
big form
sorry,
Palafin, it would be the best mon. But yeah.
Yeah, like I think using Palafin also just makes it so that you have to use Arcanine as your fire type. Like this was an issue I was having in a lot of my games was that I wanted to bring both Palafin and Chiyu, but it made it really difficult to be able to actually switch out Palafin safely because like Chiyu just doesn't switch in well as Arcanine.
Mm-hmm. I went and found what I was looking for, which is a team of 6 water types that doesn't include Gyarados. So there you go. Here's a team that shows that that there are plenty of other water type options instead of Gyarados. Man, that guy sucks.
Oh, are we looking at Randy Qua?
Yeah, I'm looking at. I pulled up Randy's team.
Let's go.
But yeah, I think those are some of the main things that we wanted to highlight with respect to the meta and usage of teams that we saw at Portland. The other thing that like people are always saying, and I agree with it, even though I can't exactly say it, is like the West Coast runs jank, and then the East Coast loves to run boring, and so we've got Hartford up next as our next NA major, next major at all. I think Malmo is the same weekend, but they're happening at the same time, and we saw that. I don't know. I wouldn't say that this tournament was won by jank necessarily, but I think that Palance maybe saw a bit less usage, and I think that at the very least we're going to see like Pokemon like Amoonguss, Pokemon like Flutter tick back up a little bit, just because more people are going to be running those standard boring teams.
Right. If you don't think that Palchua is rolling up to Hartford with Palance, like I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think that Sohaib is rolling up with a similar team to what he got top 16 to USC with, if you don't think Caleb, who just got top 8 at this regional, who is an East Coast player, is going to roll up with basically the same team, like all the East Coast players love running Palance. They love running these like boring balanced teams. They're going to run the same thing back. And also now, Joe's team, not super represented. We had like maybe a week to prepare for it going into this tournament, and I don't think people really have the time to fully prepare for it. That team is really hard to play against the first time you play against it. I played it on ladder a bunch. I kept losing to it. I think that it takes some practice against it to really figure out your lines because it's a little unintuitive. And so that's another team where I think that's going to be a standardish team moving forward. It's very, very powerful. I'd be shocked if Joe changed teams going into Hartford. James Evans is going to run like the Talon Tusk stuff or Talon Garchomp stuff that he was running at USC because he kind of sticks to one team. That stuff's pretty much standard. Again, we saw Tusk pop off, Garchomp pop off. Like, you're not going to see teams that are totally out there in the same way that you saw, a Revel Room on stream at Portland Regionals.
Revel Room.
We did see a Orthworm on stream. That happened.
Man, there's so much Chi-Yu I'm looking at. I just realized that the third slot in Victory Road... No, Gyarados, why are you breaking this? The third slot is the orange slot. And you would say, well, Alex, it's just the fire type slot. But then I kept scrolling, and then I hit a Tatsugiri. And I was like, you know what? This is the orange type slot. Tatsugiri Curly, right there, from Sean Pinto. Sean...
No, okay. It's not just Zach, like... If you think about some of the like most jank team builders in North America, a lot of them live on the West Coast. Like Alberto never runs anything that's close to meta. We saw Dr. Fidget run something that's always totally out there. You see Nate Cortex run something that's totally out there. Zach is a player who runs wild stuff. They all do really well, and there's a reason that like you kind of expect West Coast events to have crazy teams. At the end of the day, like it does kind of filter out a little bit. Like the better play, like the more consistent teams are better overrepresented for a reason, which is why you don't see stuff that's like totally wild in Top Cut. We also don't see a ton of West Coast players in Top Cut, so like.
Dang.
Also true.
Just wow. I can't believe Portland's just happened, and they're just gonna have to take that.
This is why I booked my flights to Fresno Regional this weekend, because the West Coast is almost as free as Europe is. I'm gonna make as many enemies as possible.
Yeah, I don't know where Zishu is from, but like I know Mezzi is Chicago. I'm Midwest. Joe's Midwest. This really was just a Midwest regional if you think about it.
NJ is a West Coast player, but he also had like the one jankish team in Top Cut. I don't actually know where Len is from, but
I don't know.
NJ's also Canada,
Len was...
which is he's Vancouver, so sort of West Coast. Wait, Rapha, you're West Coast, right?
Rapha is very
Vancouver.
much.
Yeah, okay.
He's the Pacific Northwestern cut.
Well, also NJ was also Pacific Northwestern.
Len was from Utah. I don't know where he is at the moment. He not coast, but western.
Fair
I
enough.
thought there was more
No,
giraffes.
no one from the west coast of the United States did well, except for maybe one.
Scott is from the West Coast. He's from Washington.
Oh, there we go.
He was in
True,
top
true.
16. Same with Gavin.
Same with Gavin. Yeah. Top 16.
And, as well, and Brandon.
Oh, okay. I did not think that Messi was a Chicago player. Used to live, maybe. Right? But
He's a
Messi-
Chicago Smash player.
Gotcha.
This is what I heard.
Biddy just said Messi is from NJ, so maybe
Oh,
maybe
I lied.
old news. Okay.
Okay. You just said the Scizor is the West Coast, but like that's my point. What person you think Scizor is from the West Coast? That's not surprising to me.
All right, Adi is gonna keep shitting on the West Coast if I don't stop him. So
I listen. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I booked my flights to Fresno. You can see me there. You can fight me there if you're from the West Coast. Do you think you're better? You top cut that regional and stop me from cutting. How about that?
honestly, I'm down. I would love to see this happen. Always rooting against Adi. So let's talk about the GC. That is one of the last major things we want to talk about here and cover this week. Yeah, so first off, this was the third and last GC. So, notably, there are no more for Western players to compete in. There is one more online competition for Japan to compete in. I actually kind of forgot about this one. It's so small, the text here, so I'll just read it. But for Japan Nat's qualification system, it says here, players in VGC earn their place by ranking high in Global Challenge 1, 2, and 3 online competitions. The top 150 players from each of these international challenges, it says the top 150 players from the international challenges. I think that means 450 players. That wouldn't mean like a summed, right? I don't know. You guys are too busy arguing with birds in the chat. So I'm gonna take. I'll keep running the show. So I think it's like I think it's gonna be 450 players. From the top, finishers from each of the international challenges. I guess Ray Rizzo tweeted out after the second one that he had qualified. So I think it's just the top 150 from each GC are invited. So there's gonna be 450 Japanese players invited to the to play in another online competition. This one I don't know if it's going to be the same structure as the GCs we've been seeing, 15 games a day, or if it's going to be something a little crazier like we've been seeing in those other Asian regions where it's like 10 games. Good luck, have fun. I don't know if that's the structure of that has been announced yet, but top 64 of those 450 are the ones that move on to actually play the IRL Japan Nationals. And then from there, they get to figure out how many players are going to be, getting the World's invites, doing other things like playing best of one Swiss and then best of 3 cut, or maybe best of 1 Swiss all the way to finals. Who knows, man? I don't know if we know all the structure yet, but still waiting.
Probably going to be Japan Nat structure of like 7 rounds of Swiss, best of 1 Swiss, and a best of 3 cut. Reveal team sheets before top cut. Like that's the structure they've stuck with for years. I don't think it's been confirmed. Maybe it has. I don't pay that much attention, but they've stuck with that structure for years and years now. So
that's
what
wild. I mean, if you top cut, are you guaranteed a place at Worlds, or do you have to win a couple games?
It might be like top 8 cut, and you have to get to top 4.
My guess is that
they probably get more invites, right? Come on.
Well, no, doesn't Japan get 8 invites?
It's day 2 invites.
Is that
The
it?
day 2 invites?
Yeah, it's just like every other region except for Europe.
Yeah.
But it is so whack. I can't imagine having to prep for a tournament where I have to do well in a best of 1 closed team sheet part, and then also do well in a best of 3 open team sheet part. And I need to do well in both of them to get a Worlds invite. That is so hard to build for.
It's like a lot of the people who are playing the GC as well as Portland this weekend. Like, you're playing 2 different games at that point.
I was gonna say, I feel like they are really getting to experience the full diversity of the game of Pokemon. Just like all the different facets.
Yeah, you just build a good team is the short answer. And
that's true.
yeah,
I think Nick's team from this weekend, as fraudulent as it was, would be a great example of something that could do this, because that team was very fun on the ladder when we were just clicking Blizzard and shit.
It went pretty hard on the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's also a team where, if people don't know their calcs, or if they don't expect specs bundle, they're just gonna get caught out a lot game one. I imagine that you sold a lot of game ones, and then winning 1 of 2, especially when you have like freeze and rock slide equity is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, no, that was my game plan. Is game 1 I teach him a calc and I blow him out turn 1, and game 2 or 3 I lock him out, and that was pretty consistent. I mean,
so
the team has a lot of funny buttons. That team was a trip.
We had the I think it was Sufi who hosted a kind of like approximation of the rankings for Western players and the players that are in CP earning regions, so taking out players from like Japan and such. And we have the results here, and approximately what rankings would get you top 16, I suppose. I don't know if it doesn't go down further than that unless there's like a reply. No, it doesn't. Okay. Wait, am I supposed to?
Have you clicked on the Google Doc?
Should I open this? Oh, clicked it. Oh, is this just like everything? Is there another tab? Oh no, but it does have. Okay, so like yeah, if you want to know, like what does this thing even give out for championship points all the way down to what top what?
Up 1,028, I think.
Oh, top 1028. We're not doing that. All right.
1,024.
We'll stop at halfway. So 512 is that it? So you could have gotten CP if you got to like 1639 or higher. Is that what I'm getting out of this?
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's like 5 points, but yeah.
Or wait, no, I'm reading this right. 1640 wrong. 1641.
You get 10 points, I think, for top 512. I can.
It's funny, at 512 is around the point where the points and the rankings equalize, and so that was really tripping me out. Of course, this is what happens. Okay, yeah, no. So it's 1641 is the actual score. So if you got over 1640, you might have gotten CP from this thing. Or very likely.
It's less than that, right? It's top 1028.
Oh, I forgot 1028. No, yeah, you got a reasonable amount of championship points because like. All right, fine. We'll go find 1028.
Or 1024, sorry. 512 gets you 10. Increments of 5 do not really matter unless you have gotten exactly top 1024 twice. Actually, that's not even true. We have locals back, so I'm just lying. But
yeah, no, Mike got 5 points from the GC and 6 points from the local for 11 points, which is functionally 10 points.
Hey, man, if you somehow enter that day 2 race after all that, that 1 point could be dire.
It's a tiebreaker.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't think if people want to look at numbers though, they want to look at teams. Unfortunately, there are no teams. You don't get to look at teams, Byron.
We have a team. We have Colin's team.
We have Colin's. So guess what won the GC? Talonflame. And that's it. We're gonna move on. Cool. There's nothing else to say except Suika. Nuts placement. Suika is always, doing super well on ladder. I wasn't wait, is it Suika? I don't know, but they ended up, was it actually Flame Body? I saw the tweet that said like Body of Flame. It's actually Flame Body. Was that a mistake or that? I mean, you don't go 1882 with a mistake. What the heck?
I mean, yeah.
What the heck?
Sounds like a dumb mouse hold tech.
A little bit.
Yeah, what if the Iron Hand takes you out?
It's an Indeedee tech.
Yeah.
Oh, it is also kind of an Indeedee tech.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, all I have to say about 1882 is like that's cool for you. I got to 1900 in the first one of Gen 7, but like 1882 is pretty solid.
Nick, you know that the algorithm's different now. It rewards less points for.
No, it's the same Elo system. That one was massively inflated because a lot more people signed up. Seriously, like 1882 and 1876 and 1858 like are really cracked. Like,
do you remember what your record was in that one?
I do. I was 39-6.
39
Um,
and 6.
I was
The
39-6,
difference-
but specifically, the way you spike IC super hard is you win streak at the end, and I won 21 of my last 22 games.
That's a good way to do it. I recommend doing that. So Japan also wasn't playing that IC for Worlds. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's apples to oranges, but
Okay, so
my number was bigger.
one thing I do want to say though is 1882. So Nick, you in your run though, which as we've covered is very different. You were plus 33.
Yeah, it was plus 33.
Because I was doing the math on this one earlier, and I guess I'll ask Adi. Adi, what's an approximate number for winning? What do you think?
If you're starting out at 1500, you are going to get about 15 points, 15 to 16 points.
That's what I thought. 15 is the average.
Once you are 1800, you are probably only getting like 10 points per win.
Yeah, so like that's why I wanted to ask is what's like the. I'm dividing this by like an average number.
For Nails to
figure out how
go
many
plus
games.
33. For
401
Nails to go
over
plus
33.
33 and have 400 points above starting, he gets about 12 points per win, which does line up with 15 to start, 10 at the end.
Okay, so we're gonna say that 12 is about the average.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if you are in the 1800s, then 12 is about the average. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, wait, I did this wrong. 1882 divided by 12. Oh no, I didn't do the difference. 1882 minus
1500.
1500. There we go.
Matt stream.
I was doing this.
Calc
before.
stream.
It's not on stream. I'm actually doing it off the stream. That way
No,
nobody.
the tops are later, Adi. Come on.
So yeah, 382 was the actual points earned, and then divided by 12. 31. 31.833, so 32. So probably around plus 32. Around plus 31 plus 32. Was the record. Was it Suika or Yui Slow who said their record in the reply? Like, I think it was Slow. Who said like, yeah, I was worried because I was only this record after the first day, and then I won 19 straight or something.
That's how you spike.
16. Here we go. It was Yui Slow. Final second place. I was in despair with only 21 and 8 on the second day, but I came back to life with 16 and 0 on the third day. Like, sheesh.
39.8. That's plus 30. That's plus 31.
Plus 31
right,
and you didn't win, so plus 32 maybe is the difference. Although they were, like what, 8 points apart? 6 points apart. Sheesh.
That tracks. Yeah.
So,
And that was our estimate, was 32, and then Nails won 33, which hits 1900 sometimes.
It also seems
Especially
like they, to Nails' advice, play all their games. So we, so I would say there's a decent shot that Suika played all their games. So that would be, what's the final record?
I mean, you can go plus 33 and not play our games, but like, I mean, I imagine Suika already had an invite. Otherwise, actually, one of the interesting phenomena that we see here is that there's actually like a reasonable distribution of Asian players and American players all throughout top 150, or at least in the top 100 or so, which was not true for the last two, where it was like a bunch of North American players, or sorry, not North American players, Western players. After number 10, it was just Japanese players until like 150, and then it was a mix up again. And this time, you can see the Japanese players who maybe already have their invite are actually trying to win it. So I imagine you just play it out a lot if you're trying to win.
Yep.
Oh man, I like the auto translate I have going on here for. I was like, that name is way too long to be
4.5 to Tommy Metz.
to be somebody's in-game name. Maluka using the worm. Love to see that. Colin made a really deep run, over 1800, 1808 with the snow team. It was actually the same one that he used at Portland. I don't remember how Colin finished. Did he make it? Did go 6-3? 6-3? Okay.
Yeah, 6-3.
So clearly a best of one team. Jokes aside though, yeah, it is kind of what we were talking about. Specs Bundle is just really good at clicking best of one buttons when you don't expect to be taking 100% on your Flutter main. Well, you know, that could be pretty lit. Marco Fierro, I wonder if he streamed it. You know, if he did, then you could definitely go check out some deep runs. And honestly, I think like the value in that is like, if you're looking to find out what a lot of these Japanese players who aren't saying what they're using are using, go find a player that streamed their run and to make a deep run and just look at what they faced. You know, you can just scroll through the VOD and just see like rating, team. You wait till you see the rating. You go to team preview. Go next game. Like you if you're really interested in the team, maybe you watch the match to see what the sets are. But that is a good way to kind of just like scout what high level Japanese players are using, because they do use some awesome stuff. Kevin Salvato used a jump left team. I would not be surprised if it was just the exact same jump left team and he just doesn't want to say it. Eric Rios using the same team as Marco Fierro. Paul Chua using a Dondozo team. I did not know Paul made such a deep run. Congrats, Paul, if you're still here. Let's see. Yeah, like we really have nothing. The Fortress guy is back though, and honestly cannot be stopped. I think this person already qualified. But here they are crushing it. Yeah, they're like, you don't get to know much, but you get to know that I have these two bullshit mons. Oh, did you actually post your sets, Paul? I'll show them. Why not? Does this tweet button take me to the actual tweet? Here we go. Nice. Yeah. Storm Drain. Yeah. What else do we got?
Wait, you're bringing this to Hartford, right?
I didn't even notice that.
Citrus Berry, Spiky Shield.
Let's go. We got Stealth Rock Tinglu. We got the Yondozo.
I've seen. I don't know if I played Paul on ladder, if I just played other people, but I felt like I saw the fucking Yondozo, Stealth Rock, Tinglu, Storm Drain, Tats on ladder a bunch in the last week. I felt like it was just everywhere.
I think Ray Rizzo there was also a team that Ray posted a report of that was Storm Drain Tots that he was going on about. I think it was a body press dozo though, weirdly enough. Oh wait, but was it body press dozo and Storm Drain Tots? What was Ray using, man? My brain is hurting just thinking about some of these GC teams.
I feel like it might have been Heavy Slime. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if the thing is, I think Ray didn't post it on Twitter, so I had to go to the video really quick. Let me see. Okay. Does this have the paste? I think he didn't post the paste in the. Yeah, no. I would have to go through the video, but here, since we're deep diving here, yeah, Wave Crash, Body Press, Yawn, Protect. Maybe that's still gotta be, Commander Dozo or Commander Tots, right?
No. It was Storm Drain.
It's Storm Drain with Body Press. I gotta close this. These are just hurting my brain, man. Okay. Eric Rios used the same team as Marco Fierro. Back to okay. Let's talk about the Fortress guy. That's more fun. Although I don't know what else to say about it besides like, what the heck?
It's still a Fortress. It was a Fortress last time.
It was a Fortress last time. It's still a Fortress. More Dondozo teams. Man, nobody wants to say anything.
I don't know if there's much to make of GC teams necessarily.
No,
because most of our tournaments are live, and it's just a very different environment.
Well, no, they are, but I think there's still like you can take away some cool strategies, and like there is merit to seeing something that has risen to the top with such a level of consistency. I mean, like that they're winning most of their matches. Like Vincurchin.
It's hard to separate the noise from like what real stuff actually is, at least for me, at least. So.
Mm-hmm. No, I like to look at the stupid stuff and say like, well, what parts can we take away and make like a real team? Like for example, Specs Bundle with Blizzard spam sounds like something that would do well in a GC. You would see it on a high level GC team, but people were like, you know what, this is good enough even if they know what I'm doing.
I mean, kind of like it was a little bit reliant on them not knowing what I was doing anyways, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, I played 3 sets against Nick. I did not know what I was supposed to do in that set. Like, despite having 2 fire types, like Ashton and I both had 2 fire types, and we combined 0-5 against Nick. So I can't really say that that most people are gonna know what they're supposed to do.
Rapha and Ashton are in fact not new players. They have been around a while. They have seen some stuff. It was still kind of tricky.
Is this
one day I'm gonna face that Dondozo Dreadnought team, except it's just gonna be like normal sets. They're not gonna have Surf, and I'm just gonna be so caught off guard.
Specs Dozo, let's go, and then another Worm team here to round it all off. Okay,
Um,
Bozo's really just 2016 X-ray. You just take 2 Pokemon and then throw on whatever random garbage you want.
Wait, was
You'll
that Spec?
probably
Is
be
it
okay.
Specs Fissure?
Oh no.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's got a ground move here. Is it Terra Blast,
Uh,
Terra Grass, and then also just Specs Fissure?
you are not locking in 2 Specs Terra Blast.
No.
There's no way.
Oh, John has confirmed it's Fissure in chat. That's tough.
I mean, is there
Is it-
another? Is there a 4th move that you want on your Specs Dozo?
It doesn't.
I mean,
it doesn't
John,
get Ice
John
Beam.
confirmed it in chat that it's Fissure, but yeah, no, I wish it was Earthquake.
I think they just wanted to post a funny picture. Like they had 3 moves and then whatever filler. They just wanted something that looked funny when they posted on Twitter.
And honestly, I think it's pretty funny.
It is pretty.
Okay, let me double check. I thought I had something else for no, that's it for the GC. So,
All right,
yeah,
Alex. I need you to go on Twitter, and I need you to go to the Out of Context Showdown account.
Okay. Why can't you just link me the tweet?
Oh no.
I can link it. It's actually linked in Tub TV on the on our Discord chat.
Okay.
If you want to click there,
Uh,
Jody posted it.
Oh wait, they did what? Come on!
They literally just stole it.
I
Can you
mean, like,
believe
not
it?
that it was
Oh,
like a completely
stole our
unique
meme.
image, but like it was literally like
yeah, no.
Like
Like
10 minutes after he posted it. Yeah.
okay, hold on, let me pull it over.
Did they steal something that was stolen?
Wait, and so, somebody in the replies stole one from
The
the
person who
reply.
replied to us, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not the
Feels-
first ones to post this Annihilate the image, of course, but
I
But-
gotta
but they
say though,
stole-
just immediately, just like they had to have seen our tweet and then just said, actually, yeah, no, that should be on my Twitter account.
this is the meta now. Type of setting, the meta. We're ripping it. Yeah, that's funny.
They should.
I think like shit posting on Twitter has gotten way too advanced.
it
our
has. It
well-being.
has. I mean, VGC Twitter is bigger than ever, and it is nuts. So, it's nuts. No pun intended. Closing. I'm getting rid of the worm. We're not looking at the worm anymore. We're instead going to the last section. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them off while we hang out here and play. The Calc is always right. We're also going to have you guys participate, so feel free to give out your own guesses. Don't, spoil the answers or anything. Just like don't look it up. This is all based on your internal damage calc in your head. To explain the game again, it is basically we're all going to be presenting a calc. I'm actually going to be submitting some ones from John, Donald, and other people that were hanging out because they have some funny ones. And yeah, we all bring a calc to the table. We mention everything about it except the amount that it does. Welcome back, Adi. And we have everybody else guess a number within the range. So, like, as you can see here, this Obama Snow Blizzard is doing 34 to 41. So if Nick were to guess 36, we would give him the point. Not that we're actually keeping track of score. It's more fun to just kind of pat yourself on the back if you get it right. And so, yeah, with that, I guess let me start it off with the one that we did earlier. What's fun is that I don't know the answer, so I could actually play my own game. All right, guys, we're actually starting off with a calc against Obama Snow. This is Halucha, 252 Jolly, Flying Press versus a no bulk Obama Snow. So the default
In the,
calc
in the
Obama Snow.
snow, presumably.
What's that? In snow. Yeah, snow is up.
In snow?
We'll give it 4
Oh,
HP
God.
because I don't know where else the EVs would go, but yeah, 4 HP Obama Snow, no other bulk. How much?
What's
does it take me-
Halucha's base attack stat?
What is
I think I'm allowed to ask this.
what Halucha's base attack stat is? I don't know it,
Yeah.
so I can't help you.
I'm pretty sure it's like 95. I want to say
I
70.
played against Halucha guys, so I feel like I have some knowledge of Halucha calcs at this point.
If you guys are watching the stream, turn away because I'm gonna start putting in the calc.
Okay. I've got a number.
I've got a number.
Okay. Yeah. So the fun part about this, for the people hanging out, is Flying Press does quadruple damage to Obama Snow.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing some guesses, and they are very wrong. We've got 20 and 37. These are not close. Okay, I think I have the number. Okay, let's start. I'm just gonna go in the order that your guys' cameras are. So Adi.
So Arcanine Flare Blitz, I think does about 180,
What?
and this is a little
Oh,
weaker, so it's gonna be
I see.
about
I can't hear Adi.
140.
Is it me or is it Adi?
It's you. I can hear Audi just
I
fine.
can hear Adi. Rapha, maybe reset.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
I said 140.
140 is Adi's number. All right. While Rafa's reset, Nick, why don't you go ahead and give us yours?
Yeah, so no bulk Obama Snow is also really messing with me. I was gonna say 110 against max bulk, but no bulk, that means it's like 125, I think.
Okay. Rafa,
Are
you back?
I was around there. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your
Yep.
number?
Yeah, I was thinking 128.
Okay, 128. All right. The final result here is 139.7 to 166.2. Adi barely sneaks in. Everybody else underestimating. Oh man, so funny.
It's
What's max HP, Obama?
Okay, max HP down to 117 to 140. You'd be in the range.
Okay, I was still overestimating the snow buff.
We weren't that far off.
All right.
Okay.
So, let's go ahead and throw it to. Does anybody want to go next, or should I pick somebody?
I mean, I've got one. If you want me to go next, we can go.
Sure, Adi, take it away.
All right. One of my favorite Pokemon from this gen. One of my favorite strategies that it's unfortunately only fringe competitively viable. We got a Darkspawn, right? Everyone's favorite body press user. It's max defense impish, right? 252 defense, and it's using body press, and it's also they've gotten a lava plume off, so it's at +2 defense.
Let's go.
Okay, +2 defense, impish, max defense, body press from Darkspawn into 4 HP, 4 defense Tinglu.
Tinglu does.
What is the base power of body press? I
80.
don't actually know that.
It's 80.
It is 80.
Okay.
Okay. Gosh. Tinglu. Okay, yeah, I got my number.
I don't know the stats to begin with.
Tinglu's got all of the defense and all the HP.
What's
Darkspawn has
Darkspawn's attack or defense?
it's.
I actually
I'm
don't
guessing.
know.
I don't know it. Like I flat out don't know it.
If you don't know, you don't know. That's a shame.
That's no, I think that's the fun of the game.
Yeah.
These are like if you were put into this situation, are you going to get the calc right? You don't get to look at anything.
This is a situation that you literally could have been put into at Portland Regionals, and you should not have been surprised if you were.
I literally played against G Darkspawn at Portland Regionals. They did not get a level plume off, but don't worry about it.
Damn.
I played against one of my locals.
I am ready. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a number.
I think I'm ready.
All right. Audio.
All right, Alex, you want to start typing it in? Or I guess we should go guess first. Nails, go for it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going 55.
I don't
Rapha?
think that 2-hit KOs. I'm gonna say 44.
What the? I was guessing 82.
Alex. 82.
All right, hold on.
Wait,
All right, Alex.
What are we going
Put it
against?
up.
This is a 4 HP 4 defense Tinglu.
Right, yeah.
4 HP, 4 defense Tinglu.
Am I missing anything? I don't have my boosts, I think.
+2 defense Darkspawn with max defense.
All right. It does 65.8 to 77.9.
Not a single one if you got it right.
I was close though. I was close. Ah.
People in chat got it right.
Okay,
People in chat
that
to
guy has
75.
115 base defense. I did not realize that. Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys were putting that at about 80 or something.
I thought it was 90.
I thought it was like below 100.
I did not realize this bun was already pretty well baked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, that's Darkspawn diff.
All right, so far, Adi's the only one on the board. Everybody else is whiffing. Let's go ahead and throw it to Nick then. Nick, what is your calc that you are presenting?
Sure, I got a Blizzard calc for y'all. Comes from one of my sets this weekend. It's the Terra Ice bundle, choice specs, max special attack, helping hand, Blizzard, into max HP, Force F King Gambit. I'll drop the calc without the it's in the Twitch chat now.
Oh, nice. That'll help. Okay.
Sorry, is that with assault
man.
vest?
No assault vest.
No assault vest.
Blood classes, if you will.
Okay, so this is versus.
Oh, I
yeah.
should know this because I was playing practice games with this set against your team. So I really should know this because I was bringing King Gambit.
Okay.
Oh, it's so that. Okay. Yeah, I got my number locked in.
Everyone good?
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Alex, what you got?
I'm going 55.
Adi?
60.
Rapha?
76.
What did
2
you
for
say?
3, guys. It's doing 55.5 to 65.7.
Oh, I don't have Blizzard in here.
Okay.
I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah. Blizzard.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hit KO.
It
am
very
I missing
I
one?
was-
Which one? Oh, I turned on not Terra. I turned on the core.
See, the
drive.
trick to making it not to a KO is you click Sports Dance and then you click Terra Dark Sucker Punch into the Iron Bundle and it dies.
Was Specs Bundle previously in the Calc Narrative now? It used to be in the Calc and then it got removed and then now it's been used on Terra.
Adi, about that, you do need the black glasses or else it doesn't kill with the
Yes, you do the black glasses. Yep. No, okay, it's a roll to kill if you don't have it. It's like 90 to 106.
No, it's not a roll. It does the calc that I'm looking at says it's 98 max.
Oh, okay.
I like that the default
I
life
remember
orb-
having a 90 to 106 roll, but I think that must be with black glasses then. No, that's 10%.
Yeah.
20%.
Oh,
I love the Calc
yeah, I
Narrative.
remember the rain one from that team. Okay, yeah, the Specs Bundle.
Anyways.
All right, Rapha, why don't you give us your Calc?
Yeah, this is something that came up in one of my sets at Portland, so I guess it's topical while we're talking about bundle. Specs bundle Hydro Pump with Beads of Ruin against another bundle. Or special defense, no HP.
Okay, and it's not Terra. It's just it's natural type.
It's just
Oh wait,
It's
I
just
almost
Hydro
spoiled
Pump into.
myself in the answer.
You
It
can't,
probably doesn't have helping hand and shit though. Okay, I gotta think of my number.
No,
I'm gonna look
just-
away from the screen. And
you can't
I've
give
got an
nails a specs bundle calc. That's
I've
not fair.
got an answer.
All right, hold on.
this
I
is a
gotta
little
think of-
cheating. I just couldn't come up with anything else, and
No, this
Oh,
is a great
that
choice.
happened.
This is a great choice.
yeah.
It's topical.
All right, so specs bundle Hydro Pump with Chiyu on the field into opposing bundle.
Yes.
Yes.
I've got my number. Okay.
I've
Let me
got mine.
know when you're ready for the answer.
Well, hold on.
But-
Or, no, I get yeah, okay, I get the third guess. You guys go first.
Okay, yeah. So, oh, wait, Audie, are you locked in?
I'm locked in.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm locking in 112.
Okay, I got 105.
I got 100.
So wait, is this like it killed once and it didn't kill the other game? Oh no, hold on. Let's see.
It
No.
killed once.
It killed once. Yeah.
I don't know the calc. I know that it does 100 some amount of the time.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Okay, the number seems to be 102.2 to 120.6. Is that correct, Rafa?
Yes. I think what happened was when I played against Nick, he locked into Hydro Pump against one of my fire types, and then he hit my bundle with it, and then it just killed. And so for a second, I was shocked, and then I realized that probably makes sense.
I didn't know that it was going to kill.
I didn't know either.
I didn't have another button to click.
Honestly,
I was
if I was in
calling-
that situation, I was thinking it was killing every time because, well, 80% of the time because you're.
I
I mean, I
didn't
doubled
think that
into
he
the
was going to be
slot,
able to do that.
All right.
I don't know. if
Okay,
that's
wait,
like-
I do have a question. Which is more powerful, Specs Iron Bundle or Dozo +2? Because I just keep remembering the
Like clicking
Cybertron set at UIC where he just like his bundle went down to Sash after a surf, and I was like, oh, okay, that's like my approximate. I figured they're about the same.
Wait, into another bundle?
I would assume it's bundle.
Or both,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, he had a surf into a bundle and it went down to Sash.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I was like, Dozo.
God.
What the heck?
Yes. So that was kind of why I figured it was kill. Life Orb, Terra, Water, Surf, and Rain, which I guess is probably
Oh, in
more
the rain.
multipliers.
Nick did
Yeah,
get it wrong, funnily enough, Burns. Yeah. He said 100.
Oh, I really did get that wrong. That's funny.
It wasn't a roll to kill, Nick. It was guaranteed.
Yeah, I thought I was luckier than I was.
Okay, I'm gonna bring in one or two of these so Donald, John Hu, Jake White, and ESM. I think we're playing the game in the car ride home because it's just so funny. So they were just like yelling a bunch of stupid calcs at each other, and I think one of the ones that I think this is the one that we're gonna do to start, and maybe we'll do one more before we wrap things up. So this calc is Dondozo max attack +2, so it's boosted. Struggle versus a no bulk flutter. How much is max attack +2 Dozo struggle doing to no bulk flutter? It also doesn't have the answer, so I can play along.
Are we allowed to ask the base power of struggle?
Nope. You gotta know
no,
that.
this is in game.
I'll
You have
after-
just disabled. Your no bulk flutter is sitting across from that +2 Dozo, Adi. You
You
disabled it.
disabled it. You better know the struggle base power.
You better know, man. You got yourself into this situation. Okay.
Alright, so that's max attack adamant.
Yes, max attack adamant.
What was the item?
No, like no items
item.
on either mon.
It's
No
leftover.
leftover.
It's
It's
just
leftover.
Yeah,
leftovers versus booster energy, whatever.
sure.
Specs. So, okay, I have to think of my number that I want to think or that I want to say that it does.
Okay, I got my number.
Nick's locked in.
I got my number. Struggle does it ghost types. It is not a
It does
normal
hit
move.
ghost
It is an
types.
untyped move.
It's
It is
okay.
typeless.
Yep. Rapha, are you locked in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm locked in, and maybe I'll go first because I feel like I might be the most wrong looking at what chat is saying. I'm gonna say 108.
Oh. Is it my turn?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adi.
I think it's doing, if it's no bulk flutter main, I think it's doing about 55.
Nick, go ahead.
I'm going 82.
All right. Rapha?
I'm thinking 73.
73. Okay.
We're all over the place.
For my context, maybe it was a choice Bandozo, but I had a game where I O-coded Tatsugiri with struggle. And so I was like, maybe the flutter's getting O-code too. But maybe the reason I was out of and I was struggling was because I was choice band locked. So let's go ahead and type it in. Dondozo, Terra Grass offensive.
Can you tell me the base power of struggle now? I was guessing 55.
We're not.
It's
We're
I
not
I thought
there
it was
yet.
40.
I thought it was 40.
50?
It's 50 base
I
power.
thought it was 40.
Dang. Okay. I also thought it was 40. Maybe that's just confusion.
I mean, it's possible.
It's-
No, yeah, confusion is 40. Struggle is 50.
Okay.
Struggle is.
I think I got this mixed up. I
It's
don't
not
think I
telling me
ever
the
knew
base
the
power.
struggle.
Oh, it's down
base
here.
power.
Struggle 50. Yep. Okay, versus a no bulk flutter main. Oh, I haven't +2'd it yet. 64 to 64.6 to 76.1. Who was
So
in
none
there?
of us
I thought
got
somebody
it?
was in there.
That was me.
I don't think any of
was-
us
I
got
said
it.
73.
Wait, Rapha.
No,
Yeah,
I said
Rapha.
73.
Oh, okay. 73? Sure. Yeah.
My thinking is it's just, or I thought it was 40, so I thought it was just like an 80 base power non-stab move. So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just a 100 base power non-stab move.
Mm-hmm. That is a decent way of thinking about it.
You know, I was going for 2/3 of the earthquake calc, but I did not remember the earthquake calc.
That's also what I was thinking. I was like, Earthquake does about like what, 70? Right? So 55 is 70, 80. Yeah. Does Earthquake kill if you know bulk?
I thought it did, and I'm probably just wrong.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, no,
I don't think it does. I was like,
I was just
80
forgetting
sounds
my
right.
props.
Okay, guys.
I had to get
so-
past this with bad memory.
I want to do this last one, but I might want to like modify it because I feel like it's gonna.
you can
just-
modify it.
I think I'm gonna modify it.
Yeah, sure.
So this last one is the last one we're gonna do. This is a brute bonnet going for bullet seed. It's photosynthesis boosted, so the sun is up, or it's booster energy, either one. Photosynthesis boosted bullet seed for brute bonnet, max attack, everything, adamant, versus max HP stamina Mudsdale.
Oh my god.
It has 12 defense. It's max HP 12 defense. I'll post the calc in the chat for everybody. It was originally Terra Grass, but I think that was too much. And so here is your
What
calc.
the hell?
So
it's the +0, +1, +2, +3, and +4 hits. So we're doing like we've got 1, then we've got 2/3 of a hit, so 1 and 2/3. Then we've got half a hit, so that's 1 and like.
Nick, shut up. Do your own math. All right, I gotta think about.
Sorry.
I don't know the answer to
13.
this
How
either.
many?
So go ahead, Rapha.
How many hits is that? Is that 4 or 5?
5 hits. We're talking about 5 hits.
5 hits. Okay.
I gotta think of my number.
And,
Oh no.
and it's 40%.
I don't even know how to start with that.
I got my number.
So we're
I've
at
got a
like we're
number.
I
at
don't have my
2
number.
We're at 2.56. And the last hit is like 2/6. So it's 2.56 plus 0.33. So it's like 2.9 bullet seed hits.
You know, I did estimate about 3 bullet seed hits. That was my guess.
Yeah.
These guys have no heart. It's all numbers, man. I'm just basing
Well, no,
on gut.
so I know how many hits it is. I don't know how much a bullet seed does to a Mudsdale, so like I'm still screwed. Sure, I got a number, I guess.
Okay. Adi, you locked in?
Yeah.
Rapha, you locked in?
I think so.
I am also locked in, and I guess I will go first because I do get to play this one because I don't know the answer. I am gonna go with 90%. I think it is just barely living. All right, let's throw it to Adi.
All right. I think Nails' math is right. I had similar back of the envelope calcs. I think it is 35 with 1 hit, so I think it's doing about 102 with the 5.
102. All right,
Oh my
nice.
god, I am
Nails?
way off from what you guys are thinking.
I guess let's throw it to Rapha then. Rapha, I want to hear yours.
I was thinking like 60.
60. Okay.
I'm feeling like 80. I think that 1 hit does about like 25 or so.
Oh, here we go. I think
A little more, I guess. And it's a little less than, probably like 27 for 1 hit.
Oh, we gotta get
And
5
then
hits.
a little less than 3 hits.
I think I'm in
So-
there. But wait, how does this?
Can the calc
wait,
do
no,
it?
the
You have
Mudsdale's
command.
got it's got commander. How does the calc even do this? Do I have to run them all individually?
I don't know. Yeah, it gets really
Just,
screwy with.
Just go for
Multi-hit
3
moves.
hits.
3 hits. 86 to 104.
Okay.
You gotta calc each hit individually. All right.
Yeah.
Oh
My god.
Can I do this? Can I do 1 hit?
Yeah,
You can
it's
just make
just,
just make a 25 base power grass move, I think.
Oh, you're right. Okay, thank you. So like, let's just put in seed bomb. Make it 25.
Yeah.
How are we summing this? Are we gonna have somebody? Do I just copy paste these all into a sheet?
yeah.
We're just gonna ask Alex really nicely, not you, Alex, the Alex in chat, and then he's gonna tell us next week.
You're right. Yeah, this is a very important calc, and we need you
Oh.
to fix the calc and code it for this. Okay, so what? I just keep doing this, but now I keep that the same, but then give Mudsdale a +1. Wrong stat. Each time. Does clicking this copy paste it now? I've been out of the game.
Oh,
How
hey,
did you- oh
my
my God.
35 guess was not that far off for 1 hit.
Yeah, I think Nick said 27, right?
Yeah. But I was also lowballing it, so if my process is going to be right, if my process is right and it's about 2.9 hits worth, then I did miss, and it's going to be like 83 to 98. I think it
We're
should
not
be about it.
we're not doing a calc like this again. This is disgusting.
You got to make it logistically possible to even calc it.
A little bit, right? Yeah. Okay. I've got 5 calcs pasted in here.
Okay, no, the real answer is you have to, if you're submitting a calc, you also have to submit how much it does.
Submit the answer. Yeah, that's a decent idea. Okay, I'll just show the top takes doc. I don't care. Let's go down to the bottom where there's nothing. Okay, I pasted all the answers in.
Okay. So min damage is 28.9 plus 20.2 plus 15.4 plus 12.5. I messed it up.
Just post it in a
Plus
spreadsheet.
9.6.
Just add them all up.
Well, I don't have it. I don't have the ranges in a spreadsheet. If you want to do it, go ahead.
Okay, so it's like
Post it in.
77. I typoed, so I'm correcting for my typo as well. But 77 plus 9.6 is 86.6 min damage, and then the max rolls are 34.7 plus 24.1 plus 18.3 plus 15.4.
This is somebody's
plus
ASMR.
I think we killed the game. I think we ruined the game.
Okay, and 105 max.
105.
Let's go! I did it!
John, I hope you're happy.
Wait,
And,
no, what did you guess? You guessed 88, right?
I guess 80 or 82 or something. I
80,
leveled
okay.
it.
Was I the only one who got it?
I think I got it, and I guess 90.
You guessed 90? Oh yeah, okay. Sick. It is remarkable that we managed to like get that count. Like very, very close to what it actually is.
We didn't get it within 45 seconds. So if that was a real life application.
Well,
we
no.
would've
To
timed
be
out.
fair, to be fair,
Our approximates were within 45 seconds.
no, we were just doing doing the math. That took like a full 3 minutes or more. But I mean our gut checks are the numbers we spat out. Those were definitely in time.
Just the rules for the game now.
Okay.
Or you also have to calc it if you want to submit.
That seems fair. Okay. Yeah, this was funny, ridiculous. You're gonna have to get rid of this game before I come back. Oh no, Burns is a hater.
No,
You gotta make it funny, not
Um,
masochistic. You gotta make it funny.
True. They gotta be interesting. They gotta be a good test. All right, so that's gonna be it for this one. We will be back next week to talk about the 4 Ohio PCs. Yeah, I don't actually know.
We got Hartford preview. We got Malmo preview.
True.
I got a question to all the Europeans. So we were talking about stereotypes for like different regions of the United States. Does different parts of Europe have stereotypes? And do you feel like that is like a representative when you talk about like Malmo regionals, like Northern Europeans? I imagine that more Germans and British people are going to show up to Malmo than Italians and Spaniards. Does that end up making the metagame look different?
Yeah,
I don't really have that sort of.
Stereotypes are the British players aren't very good. There were like 212 of them at London and 4 of them day 2'd.
Right. Well, and also the British players, I think, do run jank. That's the one thing that I would guess looking at like the British players I can name are like Jamie Baz, Jamie Keane, the guy who was running Reshiram for 2022.
Save this discussion for next time when we're actually previewing
all right.
Malmo.
No, that's just teasers.
No, I can't call Malmo Mickey Regional. I'm from Sweden. It's my home regional. This is the toughest regional in all of Europe because we got the toughest region in all of Europe playing in it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know all the best players from Europe are all from Sweden. That's the truth.
I do love that comment from Brunel. Okay, so that's gonna be it. Make sure to check it out on YouTube if you got in here late and you didn't get to catch the beginning. This will be uploaded on Audie's channel on Wednesday, in 2 days from now. So you guys can catch it all there or watch it back. And yeah, next week we'll be talking about some of those previews, maybe talking about Sao Paulo as well if we get results from that. And with that, Appreciate Adi, Nails, Rapha for you guys being on here. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for the viewers for coming out as well. And let's figure out who we're gonna raid.